Hello, my name is Dr. Carolyn T. Long, and I am a therapist, minister, author, and consultant. And I want to talk to you a brief few moments about the question, are you really too blessed to be stressed? You know, stress is a part of everyday life. It is a fact of life. It is a good part of life. There is the good stress that we call eustress, and there is the bad stress that we call distress. Jesus experienced stress, and I want you to know that stress is not sin. We know that Jesus himself faced so much stress in the Garden of Gethsemane that the scripture says that his sweats were like drops of blood falling to the ground. And in Mark, he records that Jesus was deeply distressed and troubled and told his disciples, "My soul is overwhelmed with sorrow to the point of death." He fervently begged God to remove the burden, but that he had to face. Yet, of course, we know that he said, yet not my will, but thy will be done. Chances are you will never have to face the type of stress that Jesus faced, but you will face stress in your life. You might ask, well, what is stress? Stress is kind of hard to define, so it's more appropriate for us to talk about a stress experience and our response to that as a stress response. It is not something that is done to you. It's a choice that we make about how to respond to the things that happen to us. Now, some of our responses are automatic, but many of our responses are by choice. For instance, you know Miss Applejuice at the office. She always has drama. She comes in and she causes an uproar whenever she walks in, and you have allowed her to cause you to experience great stress, and you go home and then you pass that stress on to the people in your household because of this lady. But you get up tomorrow morning and you get ready to go to work and you said, today I am not going to let her get under my skin. Well, you have just chosen to control the amount of stress that you're going to allow in your life for that day. You might ask, where does stress come from? Well, stress comes from every area of our lives, but it is two places that we are sure to face stress. And those two places are in our home setting and in the workplace. For instance, if little Johnny loses his catching mitt, that can cause stress. If Dad can't find the remote, that can cause stress. If Mom breaks a nail or is PMSing, it can cause stress for the whole family. Or if Susan breaks up with the boyfriend, then that is stress for the entire family. So in the home, when someone or one person is experiencing stress, then that includes the entire family. So families need to learn how to cope with stress as well as individuals. Stress will happen to you and me. We cannot escape it. So the question is, what will you do with it? This is where you can make God-honoring choices, or you could choose to worry. You could choose to pursue unhealthy choices like alcohol or drugs, or you could lash out in anger at others, or you can make the righteous choice to manage your stress in a healthy way. Stress management, as I've already suggested, is a matter of making good choices, good God-honoring choices. God has made us to be spiritual, physical, intellectual, emotional beings, and stress managed correctly affects every area of our lives. It affects our bodies, our minds, our emotions, our wills. So you just can't throw the Bible at someone and say, trust God more, or just turn it over to God. It is important that we take the time and help people learn to make God-honoring choices. And yes, we should trust God. So I'm not suggesting that we should not trust God. But we need to give people guidelines and teach them how to walk that out. Stress management includes sound communication skills, effective time management, rest, exercise, good nutrition, and of course prayer, scripture, fasting, and all of the spiritual disciplines. Stress affects our mind, our body, our brain, and our spirits together. Therefore, stress management must include a multifaceted approach. 3 scriptures that really come to mind that we hear a lot are be careful for nothing, or be anxious for nothing, but by prayer, with supplication, with thanksgiving, make your requests being made known unto God. We also hear that we are to trust in the Lord with all of our hearts. And we also hear that if we truly believe the word in Romans 8:28, that no matter what we are going through, that God will turn that around and he will make it to work together for our good. But when a person is in a distressing moment, those scriptures, though they may be encouraging to me or encouraging to you at a different time, that may not be what they need to hear at that time. They may also need to hear, along with the scripture, some practical steps to managing their stress. Finally, my question is this: are you really too blessed to be stressed? Thank you so much for listening. If you're struggling with management of your stress and need help, then seek help. There is hope, there is healing, and there is help.